Hi, welcome to Cookie Rookie for the 2019 Cookie Program. Today we're going to hopefully have a little bit of fun reviewing some of these items and learn about cookies. You should leave this webinar knowing the overall next steps. Please understand that you will not receive direction on how to do every single step of the cookie program. Our council employs something called just-in-time training, and as you go through this webinar, you'll learn the different ways that we communicate next steps to you. You have a large support system in place to help you. That includes our baker's website, Smart Cookies. This is a tool that we use to do everything for the cookie program. We will talk about Smart Cookies at length later in the presentation. I'll also show you how you can get to the Flickr page and the YouTube channel for the baker. They are both handy tools to have in place when you are working on the cookie program. Our website, as well as our Facebook page for the council, are also great resources for you during the cookie program. If you're on Facebook and you haven't liked our page, we would suggest you search for it and do so. Lots of announcements are made there. Part of our just-in-time training includes a series of emails called cookiegrams. They are not set on a regular schedule. Sometimes you'll see one or two in a month, and sometimes you'll see several in a month. We never send the same information twice, and they will include updates and reminders with links to instructions and reminders of how you can learn how to do a step or two in the system. We also archive them on our website, GSKSMO.org, under Cookies Plus and then for Troops. So if there's something you need, you'll be able to go to the website instead of having to search through your email. Your product sales team includes Ashley Guillen, Veronica Cleaves, and my name is Julie Jason Beck. You can reach any of us at cookies@GSKSMO.org. And I'm going to pause here for just a second because you may want to jot that address down. This is the easiest way to get a hold of us at any time. We are usually in and out of the office during the cookie program, so emailing us is a quicker way than maybe calling us or trying to email us directly because all of us have access to this site. So you're seeing the exact same presentation you would have seen if you had come into an in-person training. The first question I usually get is, hey, where's the bathroom? So I'm hopeful that you know where your restroom is. When's this going to be over? It'll probably take us about an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes to go through this message. And where do I get my stuff? Later in the presentation, we'll discuss what the stuff is and where you get it. Let's go over the 2019 Girl Scouts of Northeast Kansas and Northwest Missouri, GSKSMO for short, cookie program. First, there's a lot of jargon, and throughout the presentation, I will explain some of it, but I wanted to go over the terms right up front so that we had in a moment, to go over what they are. The TCM, or the Troop Cookie Manager, is the person who oversees the cookie program for the troop. The Service Unit Product Sales Manager is a volunteer who oversees the cookie program for the troops in the service unit. A service unit is a group of troops. Our council covers 47 counties over 2 states. We have over 2,200 troops participate in the cookie program. They're divided up into 59 service units, and your troop is part of a service unit. If you don't know what service unit you're in, no worries. Email us at cookies@GSKSMO.org and tell us your troop number and tell us that you need to know your service unit. If you don't know who your service unit PSM is, you can do the same thing. The PSA, or the product sales account, is part of how we do banking for the cookie program, and we'll talk about finances at length later. Smart Cookies, as I mentioned earlier, is the online tool used to manage the program. Our baker is ABC. There are 2 bakers that are authorized to bake Girl Scout cookies for the Girl Scout Cookie program across the 112 councils that make up Girl Scouts of the USA. Our council uses ABC. A cookie cupboard is a place to pick up cookies after an initial order. We'll talk about cookie cupboards later. We'll talk about cookie dough, credits the girls can use as part of the recognition presentation. And there's probably a little bit more that I haven't forgotten, or remembered to include here, but they are indeed the main ones you'll hear during the presentation. If you come across some jargon that you don't know what it is, don't hesitate to reach out to us to ask questions. So the troop cookie managers are, as I said earlier, are the folks that oversee the cookie program for their troop. It's your job to communicate dates and guidelines to your parents. Regularly attend all troop meetings so parents can ask you questions. You have to fill out receipts for all transactions. You'll notice that filling out receipts continues to come up in this presentation, and that's because it's super important. And then you complete all the tasks in Smart Cookies. The Service Unit Product Sales Manager, or the SUPSM, is the person who manages the program for all the troops in your service unit. Service units have unique deadlines and guidelines depending on where you're at. Your Service Unit PSM will communicate that to you. They also distribute your girl and troop materials. They coordinate the initial delivery of cookies, as well as when recognitions come in May. And they host a wrap-up meeting that you need to attend in March called a turn-in meeting. If you're a troop leader watching this presentation, because it's the first time you've done cookies, we want to remind you that it's your job to work with the troop cookie manager to oversee the program. You as a troop leader should be making sure that badge or leaf work, depending on what level your girls are, is being completed. There are 2 leaves for every level of daisies, and there are at least 2 badges for every level of the rest of Girl Scouts. Juniors have 3 since you are a junior for 3 years. You need to provide space that's away from the girls for the TCM to meet with parents during the cookie program. Make sure all receipts are being filled out because ultimately that could come back to haunt you. So make sure that your TCM is filling out receipts and has the materials that they need. You might handle the deposits, and that's okay. Sometimes the troop leader handles deposits for the cookie program. Sometimes the troop cookie manager manages it, and sometimes you share it. We don't care who does the deposits as long as they get done regularly and thoroughly. If you are handing money over from one volunteer to another volunteer, we strongly suggest that you use the girls' receipt books to create a receipt. The girls' receipt books are carbon copies, so you can make 2 copies by filling out 1 form, and each of you should keep a copy. And then you should watch the financials. We'll talk about how much money you should collect in troop proceeds later, but it's your job to make sure that you don't overspend any money that's been deposited into the troop account. So how does the program work? It's a pretty basic fundraiser. The girls will sell the cookies, they'll deliver the cookies and collect payment for them, and then the troop uses the money to fund social and service activities. But this program is also a learning opportunity, and we want the girls to experience what it's like to run a small business. And running a small business isn't like one sale and you're done. So we have a little bit more to it. There's a few more layers, and we have some suggested tips and some reminders of things that may go on during the length of the program. We would strongly suggest that you plan a girl and parent meeting, and we'd suggest that they are 2 separate meetings. Don't try to have your girls stand aside and entertain themselves for 10 minutes. Have somebody lead them in an activity while you meet with the parents. Girls want to talk about what we're doing with the money. Parents want to talk about details like when are things due and when can I get cookies and where's my order card. So have 2 separate meetings. We have a book called a Troop Cookie Manager Handbook that is available on our website. If you go to Cookies Plus on our website and then click for Troops, go to the link for cookie training, scroll to the bottom, and you'll see the word downloads. You'll find the Troop Cookie Manager Handbook. We also have printed copies in our offices in Topeka, St. Joseph, and Kansas City, and your Service Unit Product Sales Manager may have an extra copy as well. So download the book or pick one up, and inside the book you'll find tips for both the parent and the girl meeting. You will order product sales banking deposit materials at this time of year. We'll talk about that later. And you may enter the booth lottery in December if that's something you're interested in. Girls take orders and sell online in December. Cookies are ordered by the troop in January. Cookies are delivered to the service unit, at least the initial order is, at the beginning of February. And girls will deliver cookies and collect money in February and March. We want you to make regular deposits throughout the whole program. Don't hang on to money. We'll talk about that later. You may choose to host cookie booths, more than one or more. And you'll order recognitions. Ordering recognitions is literally the last thing you should be doing in Smart Cookies at the end of the program. After that, you'll attend a turn-in meeting with your service unit product sales manager. At that point, you'll be turning in receipts and any information about problems that may have occurred. Most of you won't have any problems, but if there is one, that's the time to take care of it. And then in early May, your service unit product sales manager will let you know when it's time to pick up the troops recognition order, and we want you to distribute it by Memorial Day. And that's the end of the program. So while there are several steps, it is pretty easy. The details of this year's program, some things change year to year, and one of those things is our mascot as well as our theme. This year's theme is Inspire, Imagine, and Innovate, and our mascot is Nellie the Narwhal. Some important cookie dates for you. On December 17th, girls can start taking orders, not before then. February 19th of 2019, girls deliver cookies. In February and March, there are cookie booths. In March 10th of 2019, the program is officially over, and recognitions arrive in May. Some additional key points that you'll want to keep in mind. When you put your girl's initial order in, you will be ordering by package by girl as they've given to you as their initial order. Once you get all of that in, our system rounds up to full cases. We do not give out packages. And every case of cookies has 12 packages in it. So if your girls all together order 48 packages of cookies, it won't be rounded up because it will be at a number divisible by 12. Let's say that they've ordered 44 packages of cookies in a single kind. In that case, you'll have 4 extra packages that your troop is responsible for. So if you have any additional above a number divisible by 12 needed in cookies, your cookies will arrive in those full cases, and those extra cookies are your responsibility. You may not return them to a council cupboard or a service unit cupboard or to the council office. It's your responsibility to sell them or find a troop to transfer them to. For that reason, we strongly encourage you to be very clear with parents that you cannot take cookies back. You also want to encourage parents to order only what they want to be financially responsible for, because if they think they can order 1,000 packages of cookies because they're sure their girl can sell them, at the end of the program, if they have 900 packages left, it's their responsibility to sell those 900 packages. You want to be clear that you cannot take them back. Girls must be present for all cookie booths. We do not allow consignment. That means that if you own a business, you can't set up a display of cookies and a little sign that says Girl Scout cookies and sell them on behalf of the girls. If you're having cookies sold and the cookies are present, the girls must be there. We also have some new social media rules for the first time in 2019, and these comes down from GSUSA. You may not post on Craigslist or swap and shop sites. No closed social media sites, so like closed groups that you had to ask to be a member of on Facebook. You can post on your own social media, but it must be at private settings. What do I mean by that? If you go to Facebook and you make a post, you can choose your overall settings and who can see them. Most people have their settings so that only the people they are friends with on Facebook can see. But you also can make those posts public so that even if we're not friends on Facebook, I can still see your post if I looked you up. Your post must be set to friends or a tighter level of security, and it may not be shareable. So please make sure that if you post anything regarding cookies on your social media, that you're setting the post to a private setting so that only your immediate friends can see it and it cannot be shared. Again, if you have any questions, email us at thecookies@gskSMO.org email, and we'll be happy to answer them. We also want to remind you that safety is key and should be the first thing you think about. If you're having a drive-through cookie booth, you should have lots of extra parents there. Girls should not be approaching cars. They should not be on the edge of the street. They should not be walking into people's homes. They should always be accompanied by an adult. Please be overcautious with your safety. Our cookies this year will retail for $5 a package. That's for all varieties of cookies, including our gluten-free variety. They retail at $5 per package. Every package sold by the troop will earn them $1 per package, and then the remaining $4 per package goes to pay for the cookies. It's $1.03 per package this year that we pay the baker. 14 cents goes to the recognition program, and the remaining $2.83 stays local. No monies are sent to our national office or donated to other non-for-profits. We use that money to fund everything we do at Girl Scouts here in Northeast Kansas and Northwest Missouri. That includes all of our properties, our little houses in the smaller communities. It includes financial aid. It includes all the trainings that we do. If you can think of something we do, it's partially funded by the cookie program. One of the things that makes the Girls Cookie program unique is that no matter how much each girl sells, the proceeds are divided up equally. So if you have 10 girls in your troop and they sell 1,000 packages of cookies total, one of your girls sold 500 of them and the other girls sold some random number, and one girl even didn't sell any, and you've decided to go to the zoo, the proceeds that from those cookies, $1,000, must be divided equally amongst the girls. So in this case, you have $100 per girl to spend. Now, if you do announce a time frame of, hey, we're going to this activity on X date, and one of the girls can't go, you don't earmark back that extra money for her later. It goes back into your troop coffers or can be divided up amongst the girls who are going on that activity. We do have a recognition program that allows the girls to be rewarded for their individual sales. We don't get to put a lot of detail on the sheet. Each of the girls will get a sheet, and here's a idea or a tip to make your life easier. Hand the recognition worksheet out to the girls, have them put their names on it, and have them choose, give them a highlighter, what items they want, because at these higher levels they have a choice between an item or cookie dough, and you don't want to be guessing what they want only to find out they wanted the other thing, because once these items are ordered, you can't switch them out. On the top row, we see zipper pulls at 65 packages. If a girl earns that, she'll get 2 zipper pulls. At 100 packages, she'll earn a color changing cup. There's only one cup. They're showing the front and back of the cup and the fact that the cup changes from green to blue when liquid's put in it. But the girl earns a single cup. At 135 packages, there's a tote bag. It's about 18 inches wide and 12 inches tall. It's divided in the middle and has one side as a regular tote bag and the other side as an insulated tote bag with a zipper top. So perfect for the girls if they're going on a day activity and you have to send lunch, but they also need to bring extra shoes or a sweater. It has 2 sets of straps, so the girls can carry it over their arm or with their hand. And again, it's showing you that there's a different design on the front and the back. At 150, we have glitter journals. And in this case, the girl does get everything you see there. So she'll get a vinyl cover, and then she'll get 3 separate journals that she can slide into the vinyl cover. They are sparkly in color, and they are peach, blue, and turquoise. It also comes with a turquoise ink gel pen. These journals are about 4 by 6 inches, so not as big as a regular notebook, but certainly not pocket size. One of the other things you'll want to know about our recognition program is that it is cumulative. So that means that whatever level the girl gets to, she gets everything up to that level. So if you have a girl who is at 150, everything on the top row will be earned. At the 300 level, you see Girl Scout Day at the K or cookie dough. Girl Scout Day at the K this year is on June 9th, 2019. If the girl cannot go, she can opt to choose cookie dough. We will announce the date for Worlds of Fun soon, so keep an eye on our Facebook page for that. And I do want to go into a little more detail about some specific items. The first 2 items I want to talk about are the t-shirt and the hoodie. Keep in mind that girls are not going to be getting these items until May of 2019. And the hoodie is indeed a sweatshirt, so she may not want to wear that until the fall of 2019. Please make sure you're ordering sizes appropriately for girls' growth, because once the shirts are ordered, they cannot be exchanged if the girl has outgrown them. You also cannot personalize the sizes of each item, so the shirt and the hoodie, if a girl earns both, will need to be ordered in the same size. There's a section in Smart Cookies that also allows you to enter the girl's sock size, and we do not need to know what the girl's size of sock is. Some councils have socks as part of their recognition program. We don't this year, so we don't care what size sock they wear. We do have slippers that are part of the recognition program, and much to everyone's surprise, they are one size fits all. We've had them on a child who wears a youth 11, and we've had them on an adult who wears a 12.5 wide women's shoe. And the same exact pair of slippers fit both people. They will grow with your child. They're made out of memory foam, and they continue to fit to their feet as they grow. We also have a customizable backpack from Vans, and the best way to check out all the options you have on this is to visit their website, vans.com, and go to their custom section. At that section, you'll see that you can customize both backpacks and shoes. Our item is a customizable backpack. There are 25 prints and 15 solids. There are 9 places on this backpack that can be customized. So again, we want to make sure that you know that this is just a generic picture. It's certainly an option if this is the design you want, but this is a generic picture that we're showing you so you can see that it's customizable. We also are giving away a gaming system. We're not being specific about what gaming system because we want to make sure that whatever is chosen is something that we can actually get in March, April of 2019. Girls who earn the gaming system will be contacted by council, and we will let them know what all their options are. And they will have the option to go back to Cookie Dough if they're not happy with what their gaming system options are. We also have a trip for 2 to Disney World, girl plus a chaperone. If more people from your family want to go or you want to extend your trip, you'll be able to do so by working with our travel agent. But the basic package is 3 days. It will include air, hotel, tickets to the park, and some meals. The meal package includes 1 sit-down, 1 counter, and 2 snacks. Girls who earn this will be contacted by our office, and more information will be coming at that time. I mentioned earlier in the jargon that Cookie Dough were credits that girls could use, and you just saw them on the recognition worksheet. Cookie Dough can be used for all of the items you see listed there. We have a form on our website under Cookies Plus that allows you to see all the ways you can use Cookie Dough, as well as the form that you would fill out to let us know that you want the Cookie Dough to be used. In some cases, there is no form. For example, if you're using it at Service Unit Day Camp, you'll simply tell the service unit when you sign up that your daughter has Cookie Dough. If you're using it in the store, you can simply come in and give a name. Cookie Dough is not transferable to any other girl. We do allow leaders to use Girl Cookie Dough, but she must have their postcard in hand when she does so. We also allow Cookie Dough starting in 2019 to be used for membership, but in this case, you must have $25 minimum of dough to do so. All of the other things that we offer Cookie Dough usage on, you may use any amount. We do send the postcards to girls direct to them in April of 2019. We also have a program called Cookie Share. So what this is a way for customers to buy cookies for current and former service people. What happens is the customer pays $5 for each share that they want to purchase. You will track this in Smart Cookies. You do not need to set aside any physical product. We'll take care of getting the physical product at council and make sure that it gets delivered. The troop still earns the same amount of proceeds. The girl still earns credit. If a girl sells 12 or more packages of Cookie Share, she earns a special package. Those packages also count towards her overall recognition program. Our partners in this program are the USO. We deliver them to Fort Riley, and they share with both Fort Leavenworth and Whiteman Air Force Base. Both of those are in our footprint. We also give cookies to the Topeka Veterans Administration Hospital and the Kansas City Veterans Administration Hospital. And then finally, the rest of the cookies go to Harvesters Community Food Network, which serves both Kansas City and Topeka and the surrounding areas. This year, GSUSA has a contest called Cookie Pro. Girls who win this will earn a trip to California, them plus a chaperone. They'll get to do a VIP tour of Warner Brothers Studios. The contest opens on January 2nd and closes April 30th. They'll get to do several other things like special dinners and receptions. More information is available by picking up a flyer or looking at the opposite side of your recognition program flyer. We do have a special 4-page flyer that includes the template for the 6-panel comic book that is part of the contest entry. If you want to pick those up, again, we have them at all 3 of our main offices, Kansas City, St. Joseph, and Topeka. Your service unit product sales manager may have some copies, or you can let us know that you need a copy and we'll work to get it to you. All right, let's talk about Smart Cookies, the tool we use to manage the program. So as I said, we do everything in Smart Cookies to take care of all the steps of the program. Everything you order will be ordered in Smart Cookies. That includes product and recognitions. You manage your inventory and you track your girl and troop finances in Smart Cookies. Girls who were, or volunteers, both, who were in Smart Cookies in 2018, you're still in. Most of you that are listening to this are first year, so you'll need to do some additional steps. It requires you to receive an email to register, and then you'll set up your own password. But we need you to be listed in our main Girl Scout registration system as the Troops Cookie Manager. And we are asking for this to be done by November 18th. If you're watching this and it's after November 18th, you'll just have a couple additional steps, so still follow along. If you're currently registered, you just need to go to our website and click My GS. It's the last header, the only one in gold. Sign in and click your member profile. Under your name, click Add a Role and add Troop Cookie Manager. If you're not currently registered and you're serving as the Troops TCM, Troop Cookie Manager, go to our website and click Volunteer Now, register for the year, complete your background check, and when you register, again, add the role of Troop Cookie Manager. If you try to add Troop Cookie Manager and it's not there, email us at cookies@GSKSMO.org, include your troop number and your name, and that you need to be listed as the Troop Cookie Manager. If you do this before November 18th or on November 18th, you should automatically receive some emails after Thanksgiving weekend. So start watching that week after Thanksgiving weekend. Not necessarily Monday after Thanksgiving weekend, but that week. If you do not receive an email, please let us know by emailing cookies@GSKSMO.org, but give us the week to complete the communication. If you're watching this and it's after November 18th, we still want you to complete the steps that I just described. But once you do that, you still will need to email us at cookies@GSKSMO.org and let us know that you're the Troop Cookie Manager and that you need your email resent. As I said a second ago, you're going to need a username or a login and password. An email from Smart Cookies will allow you to set up your own password. That email comes from noreply@ABC Smart Cookies. It's super plain. It's super boring. It looks like spam. First, you're going to get a cookiegram if you're currently in the system. Again, if you are watching this before November 18th, the week after Thanksgiving, you'll get a cookiegram with more information, and then you'll get that email. Those of you who are doing this after November 18th, once you email us at Cookies, the email should come to you shortly after, but it's something we have to manually trigger, so know that it's not automatic. Always include your name and troop number in any emails that you send us. We are going to go to the Smart Cookies system live so that you can see a little bit about Smart Cookies. When you go to Smart Cookies, which is located at abcsmartcookies.com, you'll be at the login site. And as an adult volunteer, your username or email will be your email address. You will have created your own password. If you ever get locked out or forget any of this information, simply use the Forgot Your Username or Password links to get back in. If you get locked out, you will have to wait 30 minutes before you can use these. Sign in. If you have more than one role, you'll be asked to choose what that is. So if you're managing cookies, for example, for more than one troop, otherwise you'll just simply go to your own dashboard. I'm going to do a feature called Mimic a User, and I am going to mimic a troop in Smart Cookies. You will not have to do all this when you log in. But I want you to see a troop dashboard. The first thing you need to do when you log into Smart Cookies is always refresh the dashboard by clicking that recycle symbol. Smart Cookies does not automatically refresh itself. So when you log in, click the recycle symbol. That recycle symbol will eventually reappear within a few minutes. You don't need to continuously refresh. Just the first time you log in, go ahead and refresh. This is your troop's dashboard. If your troop existed last year and participated in cookies, you'll have data from last season. If not, it won't be there. As you scroll down on your dashboard, you'll see all kinds of information that is relating to you and the cookie program. Please keep in mind that the data that is shown here is only as good as what you tell Smart Cookies. So for example, in this total on hand area, if you click details, it shows you the cookies by variety. If you don't track every single package by variety, these numbers will not be right. Now your overall on hand number will be correct, but your individual numbers will be incorrect. Why would you have numbers that are incorrect? Well, some troops aren't particularly concerned with tracking, hey, I sold 6 packages of lemonades at this booth. And if you let that get away from you and you enter everything under thanks a lots, these numbers will all be positive and your thanks a lots number will be super negative. Ultimately, it's up to each troop to choose how they want to do this. We do not care if you transfer cookies as everything is a thanks a lot. Thanks a lot's the first thing listed in the system, which is why it usually gets defaulted to. Or if you actually take care of tracking every single package. Our office is concerned with this number, which is shown here in 2 places. It should be the same number all the time, total on hand. We're only concerned with the total number of cookies you have and the dollar amounts that translate to that. We're not concerned with your inventory of any specific cookie. But if you want to track that, it's totally up to you. As you enter girl financial information and troop financial information by clicking finances and then financial transactions, your information on your dashboard will update. When you click this section, it opens up to the tab troop transactions and you click add troop transactions. You will only enter deposits into the product sales program account, which I'll show you more about in a minute, in this field. Do not enter deposits to your troop account on this field. Fill out the required information and click Save. You'll notice that there are some fields for notes and reference. Those are for your use only. These are not things that our office sees, so don't try to communicate by putting notes in here for us. This is for you. If you are tracking girl money, and you should every time a girl gives you money, you click over to the Girl Transaction tab and click Add Girl Transaction. Choose the girl's name, the transaction type, and the payment method, the date you received it, and the amount, and click Save. Again, reference and notes are for your own notes. We do not see them. Payment methods include cash, check, credit card, and booth. Cash is for entering cash, of course, and check is for entering checks. If you have a girl who gives you $100 and 50 of it is in cash and 50 of it is in check, and you want to enter 2 different entries, she gave me 50 in cash, she gave me 50 in check, it's 2 separate entries, that's fine with us. If you want to call, you have to pick one of these. So if you want to call all of them cash, that's fine too. If you want to make yourself some notes down here that 50 was cash, 50 was check, you can do that. Again, these notes are for you and we don't see them. Quite frankly, we don't care. Again, we're really mostly interested in the total amounts here. Please do not use the credit card or the booth credit options. These are for some other councils, part of a pilot. We're not interested in that. Just either use cash or cash and check. When you get into the system, you might click your troop roster to see your girls, or your troop user management to see who was signed up last year for Smart Cookie. Your roster is going to include only girls who were registered for your troop in 2017-18. We will do uploads of girls twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays throughout the cookie program. So if you have a girl who joined your troop late or is in your troop but has a family member has not gotten around to registering them, they will show up eventually. You're also welcome to use add new user and create another user role for them. If you're in the system for troop users or on troop roster, you're welcome to create a new person there as well. So you might choose to do that. Charlotte's in my troop. She hasn't registered yet. I don't know her nickname or she doesn't have one. You are not going to know the GSUSA ID number, so please leave that blank. The recognition program should fill in for you at that time. The grade level, if you want to put that in, you can. Here's where you put the t-shirt size. The sock size we don't care about is right there. Parent information, and hit save. This adds the girl to your troop. If you want her to get the Smart Cookies email, you'll also have to click this screen and add her in. In this case, it's wanting me to add as an adult because I've chosen troop. If it was a girl, it would just say girl. Let the parents do a profile picture if they choose to. It will default to your troop. You can pick the girl, put in first name, last name, parent email. Username would be the username the girl wants to use for Smart Cookies. Parents may choose to set that up themselves. So I would suggest that you put in something very generic. It needs to be like, my example was Charlotte, I would put for a username, Charlotte C. Let's say her last name is Cliff. So Charlotte C. And see if that works. If there's a Charlotte C already, then just like when you're getting a username for any other website, add a number or something like that. Parents can always change that username. And for the password, I would use something very simple like cookie 19. Repeat it here, click must change password, and send these automatically default to yes and hit save. That will send the girl a link so that she can add herself to Smart Cookie. In a little bit, I'm going to talk about girls using Smart Cookie because it is different than the troop using Smart Cookie. The other thing I wanted to share with you is that there's nothing in here that you can hurt. So feel free to go in and click around and look at different things. If there's something that you can't do yet, it will tell you you can't do it yet. If you think you've made an error, email us at cookies@GSKSMO. One of the biggest places where people make errors is transferring cookies. Can't do it now or show it to you now because the cookie season hasn't started, but they'll transfer cookies either in the wrong amount or to the wrong girl. And then they'll try to fix it by transferring cookies back. Almost everything in this system has the ability to either edit it or delete it. So know that you have that information as well. All right, let's go back to, I'm sorry, before we do, one more thing. This is where all of the bakers' social media information is. This is how you would get to their YouTube page. When it starts, it has an autoplay video that's pretty loud, so I try to stop it pretty quickly. Girl videos are here, and a volunteer or adult videos are here. Sometimes it mentions things that we don't have, like an early recognition order, or you'll hear the term districts being used. We don't have districts in our council, so you can ignore that. There's a bakery tour video here that you can use to entertain your girls for about 6 minutes. Otherwise, everything else here is just random Girl Scout information. But this all belongs to our Baker ABC, and you're welcome to go through it at any time and look at it. This is the place where you can link to the Baker's Flickr account. And when that comes up, you'll see that there's all kinds of options already divided it up into categories of different things you can get. Photo shoots they've done, coloring pages, if you're making a worksheet, borders. If you want to see a size chart for the tees and hoodies, it's right here. If you need to have pictures of the cookies, it's right there. Everything you can do. If you're wondering how you can use things and want to look at the terms, you can. If you scroll down, it continues to show you mascots and themes from previous years. We'd ask that you stay with this year's themes, but if there's something like the Scout Shouts that you want to use, you sure can. These are things that you can save to your own computer and then use as a profile picture on social media. There's also some sections that have different things that you can use for banner photos or general. Sometimes if I'm impatient, it will open. Just general cookie information. And again, you can download any of these. These are like borders for the bottom of a page. You can make posters. These are great to print out for the girls if they're making posters for their booths, things like that. So help yourself to any of these images. And again, those are two right here. The Baker also has an Instagram and a Facebook page. I think you'll find these to be the most helpful. Play on the page, see how it goes, and let us know if you have any questions. You as a troop might want to use this mimic session if you're helping a parent, so know that that's available to you also. Let's go back to our presentation, and just a quick reminder that you should refresh your dashboard every time you log in. Chrome is the preferred browser, but anything should work. Any mistakes can be fixed. Just email us here at GSKSMO.org. And one last thing, that total on hand number that I showed you, that's going to go from negative to positive to 0 throughout the program, and that's fine. There's lots of reasons for that to happen, but at the end of the program, the number should not be negative. When you go to your turn-in meeting, if the number is negative or positive, your PSM is going to question it. Sometimes troops have a positive number if they have a few packages left that didn't get sold and they're just going to use them for snacks at meetings and buy them themselves. Or they might have a positive number because they have a few more packages of cookies to sell, and that's okay. But if it is negative, it means that something is wrong and we need to fix it. So keep an eye on that on-hand number. If you see it negative for a long time, you might reach out to your service unit or us here at the office and see if we can get it addressed before you go to turn in. You can also access Smart Cookies on your smartphone or tablet. And again, you've got those links for next steps, and we'll have printable instructions in our cookiegrams as well. When you get in, as I said earlier, just toggle around. This GSUSA ID number column will be empty. Don't try to, as I said earlier, guess at it and fill it in. This is a number we use to help keep track of girls, so that if there happens to be, the most common reason we use it is if there's more than one angel bird, we want to make sure that we have the right one in the right service unit and troop. So go in, click around the page, check your troop list, add girls who are missing if you want, or wait for them to upload. If a girl's listed twice, don't try to fix it. Contact us at GSKSMO.org, cookies@GSKSMO.org, and we will try to fix that. And also keep in mind that the term registered is used in Smart Cookies. Registered in Smart Cookies is not the same as registered for the Girl Scout year. Registered in Smart Cookies means the girl received the email link, clicked it, and set up a password. Even if she doesn't do anything else in Smart Cookies, once she gets her email link, that means she's registered. But don't confuse it with registered for the Girl Scout year. So earlier I mentioned that the girls can get into Smart Cookies as well. And this is probably one of the most confusing parts of the Girl Scout program, the girl platform for Smart Cookies. Girls can set a goal. They can enter orders electronically like they were writing it down on a paper order card. Think of it like having the Notes app in your phone. You can enter notes. Nobody else sees it. It's just there for you. If they do enter those orders in their phone, they can track on each order if the customer has paid or if it's been delivered. They're two separate entries. If they continue to enter information about their total sales, they can see where they are towards their goals and what recognitions they've earned. They can upload video instructions. So if they want to watch how to do something, those YouTube videos I just showed you, they can see that. They can create e-cards to send to customers, which we'll talk about in a second. And they can access smart cookies just like you, either on a mobile device or on a desktop. So in this system, if a girl creates a username and password for their Smart Cookies portal for girls, they can send emails asking for orders. And they'll do that, I'm sure, in conjunction with their caregiver, who probably has all the email addresses. This is a part that gets confusing. When they send an email, their recipients will automatically get a link for direct ship orders. If the caregiver chooses, they may also get a link to have an in-person or a girl-delivered order placed as well. Girls are not emailed when a customer places an order, including girl delivery. So if a customer places an order and the family has sent that person a girl delivery link, and that's what was used, the only way anybody's going to know about the order is if the family logs back into the girl's Smart Cookie portal and sees that the order was placed. No one is contacted. Additionally, troops and troop cookie managers are not notified when they enter an order in Smart Cookies or if a customer places an order. We are lobbying with our baker to change that so that if a customer places an order, whether it is girl delivery or direct ship, that the customer, or excuse me, the caregiver is notified. At this time, that is not the case, and it will not happen for the 2019 cookie program. So know that if you choose to send somebody the girl delivery link, they are going to have to continuously log into the portal and see if anybody ordered. And if somebody ordered, they will have to communicate that to the troop, get the cookies, deliver, collect payment, and return the payment, just like any order that might be written down on the girl's paper order card. If a customer places an order with the link for direct ship, no one has to do anything. It is automatically uploaded to the system. The troop is given credit, the girl is given credit, and the parent can or caregiver can find out by going back in the system. So let's say you send an email to Uncle Bob in Florida for direct ship and Uncle Bob places an order. The only way you're going to know Uncle Bob placed an order is if you happen to notice on her girl dashboard or going into the emails that she sent that she has an order placed. So if you're the type of person who wants to send a thank you note, that's how you're going to find out about it. Again, if a girl delivery order has been placed, you have to go back into the system and see that the order was placed, and then do all the same communication as if you took an order face-to-face from your neighbor. For girls to access Smart Cookies, they must be added and sent an email. So just like you, after the week of Thanksgiving, we're going to send adult volunteers a cookiegram with more details, and that will be followed a day or two later with their email registration link. The first week of December, we'll send girls an email using the email address they were registered with, a cookiegram explaining that this is coming, and we'll have a separate link that they can click on to learn about Smart Cookies. And then a couple days after that, they will get an email asking them to sign up if they choose to. Girls using Smart Cookies is completely optional. If they choose to sign up in December, fine. If they wait until March, they certainly have that option. If they, for some reason, say they didn't get the email or it was accidentally deleted or they purposely deleted it and 3 weeks later changed their mind, we can resend the email. You as Troop cookie managers will also be able to resend the email, and we'll send you a cookiegram explaining to you how you can do that. When a girl is set up in Smart Cookies, her username must be different if her volunteer also has a login. So if you're a Troop cookie manager, you will use your email as your username. Your daughter's username must be something different. You can use the same email to set up her account, and you can even use the same password, but you have to have a different username. Most people take a name like the example I gave you before, Charlotte C or Charlotte C1, but feel free to use whatever you want to use. One of the things we're doing this year is subsidizing direct ship orders, specifically those that are placed to ship in the continental 48 states, by 50%. So for example, it costs $11.50 in shipping and handling when you order anywhere from 1 to 11 packages. If you order 1, it's $11.50. If you order 11 packages, it's $11.50. It goes up from there. As you order more, it increases. But our council is taking care of half of that. So if a customer places 1 to 11 package order, they will be paying $5.75 in shipping. We will subsidize it automatically. There is nothing for the customer to do. There's no codes. The girls don't have to send any information. It's absolutely automatic. Now, there are abilities to send cookies to APO and PPO mailboxes, as well as Alaska and Hawaii. There's a upcharge for all of that. That is not being subsidized. Regular shipping to households in the 48 continental United States will be subsidized. Girls and Troops earn the same credits and proceeds. And again, Troop cookie managers and Troops do not have to do anything. It's automatically uploaded. You'll see a financial credit given to your Troop on your dashboard and on your what's a report called a Troop balance summary. You'll also see where the credits and the cookies have been transferred to both the girl and the Troop. So a really great incentive this year. If you are interested in sending cookies as a gift, send yourself an email when you send out emails and click the link to order on direct ship, and one of the options will be to create a gift. The gift box is approximately 10 by 10 inch cube. You choose 5 cookies. It does not matter what the assortment is. They can all be the same. You can pick whatever you want. They'll be placed in the box with some packaging, a personalized note, the lid goes on, and the whole thing goes into a brown cardboard box and shipped wherever you would like it. Shipping charges still apply, and there's an additional $4 cost. If you want to use the Smart Cookies app as a caregiver for your daughter, you can go to your app store and search Smart Cookies Mobile. Make sure you don't download the Smart Cookies Cupboard Manager app. That has a blue background. The one you want has this kind of hot pinkish orange background. Remember that the girls portal does not talk to the Troop dashboard or to the Troop Smart Cookies, and a girl can use a desktop if she doesn't want to use a mobile device. The biggest question we get about online sales is the difference between the two, so I want to recap. If a parent or caregiver sends an email, they physically have to push a button or toggle a lever on the screen to send girl delivery emails. That means the girl will deliver the cookies. It's not communicated to the Smart Cookie site for the Troop. No payment is requested. The girl must get the cookies, deliver the cookies, and request payment. If the customer chooses direct ship, the customer will place the order and pay online. They'll choose the type of shipping they want, and cookies will be shipped pretty much immediately. Now, give them a few days to process the order. But part of the reason we start on December 17th is to allow people to get cookies in time for Christmas. So know that hopefully, barring any, certainly won't guarantee it, but barring any major weather or transportation issues, it shouldn't be a problem to get cookies there if you ordered them on the 17th. How do you get cookies that you are delivering? Well, the first thing you have to do is place an initial order, and most troops do this. You want to order enough cookies to get you through the first 2 weeks of February, because your cupboard that you're assigned to get additional cookies may not be open. The deadline to do this is Sunday, January 13th at 11:59 p.m. These will be delivered in February at a location near your service unit. Your service unit product sales manager will let you know what date and what time to pick up your cookies. And that person probably needs help. So for things to go smoothly, we strongly encourage troops to volunteer a little extra time. Make sure you're paying attention to how many cookies you're transporting, because they cannot watch your order. Some of them will not let you leave cookies and come back. Some of them are having their deliveries at places where cookies cannot be secured, so they cannot be left overnight. When you get your troop materials, there is a chart on the big envelope that shows approximately how many cookies fit into types of vehicles. That same chart is in the Troop Cookie Manager Handbook. Please note that they mean empty vehicles. They don't mean you plus your kid in a car seat and your dog, and you've left all the stuff you normally carry around in the back of your car, like your jumper cables and emergency supplies and things like that. They mean an empty vehicle. Seats down, probably empty vehicle. If you have any questions about that, reach out to us. Additional orders are called planned orders, and those are placed into Smart Cookies, and that's how you order additional cookies. The first time you can do that is Sunday, February 10th. Your order is due by 9 p.m. that night for pickup the following week. That's why we tell you to get enough cookies through the first 2 weeks of February. So when you get your initial order and you start handing them out to the girls, if your parents are saying, hey, can I get some more of those Thin Mints? Do you have any more of those lemonades? And you know that you have a cookie booth coming up in the first part of the month, I would tell your parents, I can't give them to you now because we have a cookie booth coming up and our cupboard isn't going to be open. But I can order more cookies to pick up the week of February 11th. So I'll write these down. Let me know by, give them a date and a deadline. And by the way, lie to them about the date. So don't tell them the 10th of February. Tell them you need to know by the 8th of February. That way you can get people who freak out for the last minute stuff taken care of as well. What you need, and then place that order and pick them up that week. Don't forget that we don't give out packages, so you'll have to pick up full cases, and those extra cookies are your responsibility. I mentioned a cookie cupboard. That's where you pick up those planned orders. Some service units have their own cupboard, which is run by a volunteer. Some people are assigned to a council-sponsored cupboard. You will find out when you place your order or ask your service unit product sales manager. Let's talk about the money part of the cookie program. When the cookies come in February, no, you do not have to pay for them. And while we've said here on the slide, cookies are paid for at the end of the program, that does not mean you should hang on to money. Every time you collect money, you should get it into the bank as quickly as possible. Every year, someone calls us and tells us that they've been robbed somehow. The money was in their desk at work. Their money was in their car. The money was in their house. Somebody took it and used it. It was in their purse and their purse was stolen. Get it to the bank. If you lose money for any reason whatsoever, you're responsible for it. That includes things that are out of your control, like house fires or theft. Even with the police report, you're ultimately responsible, and your personal insurance will not cover more than a couple $100s. So make sure that you get that money in the bank. Don't hang on to it until the very end. Money should not be collected from customers until the cookies are delivered, unless they're only purchasing cookie share. There's nothing to deliver, so feel free to collect that money up front and get it in the bank. Every troop should have a deposit materials for their troop account for everyday business and the product sales account. We allow credit card readers like Squares to be used, but they're completely troop funded. So any fees associated with the swiping, any problems that occur with the hardware, like the phone gets dropped and the screen gets shattered, that is on the troop. And then I want to tell you about something called an audit. At the end of the program, you'll have a turn-in meeting with your service unit product sales manager. That person will have a meeting with the product sales team afterwards. And after those meetings, we go through all 2,200 troops and look at all of the receipts and everything that you've turned in, any information about parents who haven't paid, or if you haven't paid in full, and review all those details. Because your service unit product sales manager cannot tell if a deposit that you've made in an ATM account, if you're in a Bank of America area, actually went into the right account. So all they're looking to do is collect the receipts from the deposit that you've made to the product sales account and to see if it appears to reconcile with what you owe for the program. If there's a problem with anything, our team will reach out to you. You need to keep in mind that if you've accidentally deposited money into your troop account, or in most cases, troops collect more cash than checks and already have more money in their troop account, that some of it may belong to council. If your troop had 100 packages of cookies this year, cookies are $5 per package, and everything was sold, there's no problems, you should have $500. 400 of that goes back to the council, 100 belongs to the troop. If there's $500 in your troop account and you know it all came from cookies, you know that you owe us some more money, and don't spend it. Make sure, if you're the troop cookie manager but not the troop leader, that you're keeping your troop leader informed of how much money is being deposited and how much of that actually belongs to the troop. We have a recorded video that discusses product sales banking. The person you see on the screen is Monica Webster. She is our troop banking manager. In this format, unfortunately, we cannot show it. So once you're finished watching this recorded session, please take a moment. It only takes a few minutes to watch it, and watch this banking video separately. In it, she will describe several things, but these are the high points. Deposit tickets, and in some areas, ATM cards, are used to deposit checks for the annual cookie program. If you are in a Bank of America area, you have to request these. They are not automatically sent to you. Go to our website and then go to Cookies Plus, the subcategory for troops, and then product sales banking. In that, it will have links to order, and we strongly suggest that if you're a new troop, you order both the ATM card and the deposit tickets. Deposit tickets will be delivered to service unit meetings. ATM cards will be mailed to you. They come in a plain white envelope with no mention of Girl Scouts or Bank of America on them, and they'll have your card inside. Your PIN number is your troop number. If you're not in a Bank of America area, you simply ask your service unit product sales manager for deposit tickets. I'm sorry to say that ATM cards are not available in the non-Bank of America area. If you are in Service Unit 716 or Service Unit 816, you'll have alternative directions that will be communicated to you by your Service Unit Product Sales Manager, as well as through a cookiegram that's sent just to your service unit. That won't happen until probably December or early January, so hang tight for more information on that. If you participated in the 2018 cookie program or the 2018 Candy Nut magazine program, and you have materials where your deposit tickets are printed with your troop number if you're in a Bank of America area, or if they're handwritten in and you're in a non-Bank of America area, you can use the same materials. If you have materials that have the service unit and troop number handwritten on them, and you're in a Bank of America area, you need to request materials. If you have any questions about this or how to do it, please reach out to us so we can help you. For those of you in a Bank of America area, just as a visual reminder, your troop account involves a deposit card and a debit card. Those are used for everyday business. If you're collecting monies for a program or dues or whatever, that would be used as a thing, categorized as an everyday item and go in your troop account. For product sales banking, you're going to use that deposit card to deposit checks that you've collected from the candy and cookie programs. If you have a problem at the ATM, don't go into the bank or call the toll-free number on the ATM or the toll-free number on the back of the card. Do email us at cookies@gsksmo.org and include the following information: troop number, the location of the ATM, what day and time were you there, how much was the deposit, what happened, did you get a receipt, is this receipt correct, all that kind of information. Any deposit that you make into the product sales account must be entered in Smart Cookies. These are not automatically uploaded when you go to the bank. We do not need troop account deposits entered. Again, if you get a direct ship order from your girls, those are automatically entered, nothing for you to do. And we want original deposit slips. All troops, when they get receipts from the bank, should write their service unit number and troop number on the receipts. If you need your own receipt, then ask the teller for a second receipt. But we do not want a photocopy or a picture you've taken with your phone and then emailed to us. Anytime a caregiver gives you money, you need to enter that into Smart Cookies. This allows you to track payments made and run reports for each girl that are accurate. You need to fill out these receipts. On this side of the receipt, I know it's a little blurry, these are the receipts that you get from us, and they are both for money or giving out cookies. At the top it says troop number name, that should be your troop number, and the parent or the caregiver's name that gave you the money or that you're giving the cookies to. If you want the girl's name up here, that's great, but this line should have a caregiver name. Fill out your service unit number. When you fill out the date, make sure you include 2019. This side is for number of cases, and this side is for number of packages. You'll use that when you're giving out cookies. If you're giving out 14 packages of thanks-a-lots, I don't care if you enter that as 1 case or 2 packages or 14 packages, just so it's a correct number. On the money side, that's used when you're collecting money from a caregiver. If you have an after-school troop, please be sure that you're not giving anybody any ideas about how they can give money back to you. In other words, that wasn't very clear. In other words, don't let the girls bring the money to school. You need this receipt signed by an adult 18 years or older. You do not want the girls signing the receipts because they legally can't sign receipts or contracts. And this receipt is saying, yes, I agree that you gave me X amount of money, or I agree that you gave me X number of packages. There are 2 lines on the bottom, received by and received from. If you're collecting money, the money was received by you and received from the caregiver. If you're giving out cookies, they were received by the caregiver and received from you. So be sure to sign the correct line. And if the person, make sure that you tell the person that you want a legible signature. If they write it in any way that you can't read it, you need to redo it. Troop numbers are listed here. Sometimes you might give cookies from your troop to another troop, in which case you'll have different numbers. But in a lot of cases, these will be the same numbers because the transaction is happening within your troop. I need every field filled out correctly. Of course, if you're giving out cookies, the money side will be empty. If you're collecting money, this side will be empty. But otherwise, I need it filled out completely. If you have a problem at the end of the program, these receipts filled out correctly are required and will be used to help collect that money. Cash you collect should be deposited into your troop account. Watch your dollars so you don't overspend. And the reason we do this is so that you have your proceeds up front. You don't have to wait for us to pay you back. Checks should be deposited into the product sales account. Record deposits of anything you put in this product sales account. Record any deposit in the product sales account in Smart Cookies. Do not put checks into your troop account. If a check bounces and you put it in your troop account, it will be up to the troop to collect it. If you put it in the product sales account, you'll never hear a word about it. Make the check out to Girl Scouts, but if somebody makes it out to GSA or GS of America or your troop number, that's fine. We'll accept it. And if you're depositing with the teller, they're going to ask you to endorse the check. Please make sure that you're indeed endorsing the check either with the teller's stamp or the words deposit only. Excuse me, I'm having a little technical difficulty here. At the end of the program, every deposit you need to make should be made by the time you have your turn-in meeting with the PSM. If there is a problem, we will reach out to the troop leader, not the troop product sales manager or troop cookie manager, I should say, if there's an issue. It's key to communicate with our team if we reach out to you. So if you get an email or a phone call or a letter, please return it. Don't assume that it's been solved. Parents who don't pay their balances, this happens occasionally, not very often, but occasionally, can be turned in at the time of the service unit product sales meeting turn-in meeting. Do not wait until later because we will tell you that it's too late. Your deadline is that meeting. If you don't make it to that meeting, you've missed the window to turn in the parent. So please make sure you make every effort to attend the meeting. You must turn in a signed permission slip and correctly filled out receipts from the caregiver, or you may not turn in the delinquency. If you have the correct documentation, we won't hold it against you. If you don't, it'll be up to the troop to collect that money and you'll be liable for that balance. If you do make any late deposits, you must mail us or deliver original deposit tickets or receipts to our office. Otherwise, we don't know that you went to the bank. If we have any issues with your deposit, we will email you as quickly as possible from our office, but keep in mind sometimes it takes the banks up to 2 weeks to tell us there's a problem. And the service unit product sales managers cannot tell if ATM deposits went into the correct account. So we are going to coach them on not telling them everything is fine and you're done. It's up to you to watch your numbers to make sure that you see that we have the right information. So your next steps, once you can, log into Smart Cookies. Again, if you are a 2019 user, after Thanksgiving weekend, then start watching for emails. But before then, make sure you're listed as the Troop Cookie Manager. If you're watching this after November 19th, go ahead and still make sure you're the Troop Cookie Manager in the system, but then also email us at cookies@gsksmo.org and tell us you need to get your email. Order your product sales supplies. If you're in a Bank of America area, you'll order those online. Or if you are not, see your service unit product sales manager. And pick up your troop and girl supplies. All of these things are provided for the troop and the girls, including a package of lemonade cookies. If there's anything you run out of other than the cookies, please let us know and we'll make sure that you get them. Our last topic today is cookie booths. In the metro area and in your handbook, it says Jackson and Wyandotte counties in Kansas. We meant Johnson and Wyandotte counties in Kansas. One other quick correction. If it says on the no-call list on page 10, Dillon's grocery stores should be added to that list. The purpose of our booth lottery is to fairly distribute the top locations we've been able to secure for booths in Metro KC. If there is a location that you're interested in and it's not listed in the lottery, you're certainly welcome to call us. But again, I would suggest referring to the no-call list because some of the stores on the no-call list have told us no. We would love to have a high-traffic location for every troop that wants one, but unfortunately, there are not enough locations that tell us yes to allow for that. For that reason, we have a lottery so that we can equitably distribute them as easily and fairly as possible. If you're outside the Metro KC area, please contact your service unit product sales manager for more information. This will open in early December. Watch your email for a cookiegram and closes January 2nd. There's no advantage to the date that you enter. And please watch that do not call list. That do not call list is applicable for 365 days of the year. If you have a question about any of the locations or what is meant, email us at cookies. For everyone, please make sure you're addressing booth etiquette with your girls. Inside voices for inside, outside voices, still no hollering, no screaming at people across the parking lot, and everyone should stay in their assigned area. If you'll review everything that you see here in this square with your girls, we would appreciate it. Bring all the supplies you need, including change and tape. Don't ask your host. It is our requirement and what we tell the locations. You'll have 1 to 4 girls at each booth. We don't care what the number is as long as it's at least 1 and no more than 4. And 2 adults Always 2, no more, no less at each site. If you're at a location where you can set up at more than one door, then you have 1 to 4 girls at each door and 2 adults at each door. Please be a sister to every Girl Scout and don't set up in close proximity to another troop, like in the parking lot of the Walmart while the booth is happening at Walmart is a great example. Handle problems in a dignified manner, no fighting. We also want you to, at all times, dress appropriately for the weather. But if the girls can wear Girl Scout uniforms, like their sashes or vests or their pins, that would be great to identify them as Girl Scouts. Show where your proceeds go. Most people don't know the great things you guys do with your proceeds, so make sure you're communicating that. You know, here's some of the things we've done in the past. Here's what we're earning our way towards this year. Having goal posters and thermometers are a great way of showing goal setting. And be a Girl Scout. Leave the area better than you found it. Don't load up the retailer's trash with your empty boxes and supplies you don't need again. And please send the retailer a homemade thank you note from the girls. That goes a long way in securing those locations year after year. Thank you for watching this presentation. Again, if you have any questions, either right away or throughout the program, email us at cookies@gsksmo.org and we'll be happy to help you.